Hey, it's Bill Gross, the LA probate expert, with analysis of this week's in real estate. And the question is, are we now at a new normal? Well, that's what Zillow said. It's interesting. I see so many articles and YouTubes about a housing crash and values dropping. And while that might be true in certain cities that had hyper growth and now adjusting out of that hyper growth, I think overall the real estate market appears, based on the fundamentals and the current status, appears to be in good order. I'd like to show what I'm talking about. A couple key factors are going to determine whether or not the market will continue to grow and be healthy or will turn around and be a problem. Let me show you what those factors are. The first one is mortgage rates. What's driven the market from the very beginning of the last few years has been interest rates. When buyers can afford to pay less interest for the same money, they can buy more house. And as a result, they've been buying more houses. And you can see that rates today are still in the low threes and are just off of their bottoms and still below the highs. So they're kind of in the middle of where they've been over the last year. 30-year fixed rates in the low threes, 15-year fixed rates below 3%, even jumbos in the low threes. So what's been driving the market all this time will continue to drive the market, in my opinion, which is the fantastic buying opportunity caused by historic rates. Now, if inflation forces rates up, all bets are off. And if you believe that the deficit spending will cause that in the near future or the next year or two, then you need to factor that. But for right now, based on where we are, with the low interest rates, buying a 30-year fixed rate can lock in a rate for a long period of time. Many buyers and investors find that extremely attractive. Second major factor is building of new houses. In order for there to be excess inventory, there has to be new houses coming from somewhere to the marketplace. Are they coming from the new market? I don't see that. So, for example, take a look at this graph that shows where new construction is, and you'll see the new residential construction has been fairly steady, of course, volatile with COVID down, and then overcompensating to make up, and then it looks like settling back at the same pace it was before. Now, when we had the last market crash, we had tremendous overbuilding, resulting in builders having entire tracts of homes being given away at bargain basement prices. We don't see that today. In fact, the opposite. I've looked at buying in some new construction homes, and they don't have inventory. You're buying out 3 and 6 months, and builders are more conservative now, forcing you to put up more money to lock in a opportunity as an investor down the road. So certainly new home building is not approaching pre-crash levels, and certainly not even crash levels. The third would be resale inventory would have to be a factor. And here's an amazing study done by a guy who called Calculated Risk. And what he did was he took the Case-Shiller report of home appreciation and the annual inventory being reported and plotted on a graph. And what you see that in any time left of the graph, when values were down, the inventory was at least 6 months, meaning there's no time period where rates decreased and you had less than 6 months inventory. You have to have more than 6 months for prices to go down, as you can see from this graph. And we're way up here. We're having big appreciation because of the low inventory, in line with where the inventory is now at about 2.4, 2.5 months. So as long as inventory stays in this range, and I think that's the key factor to watch, inventory, if you see a dumping of inventory, that can cause panic. Now, there was a story that Zillow was dumping inventory, but their housing numbers are insignificant to the entire marketplace. Where we have 3 million sales a year, their 4,000 to 8,000 sales won't move the needle. So for now, we have healthy inventory or even tight inventory, and that should cause increase in the valuations of properties in the long run. So question, are we going to have a housing crash? It is possible that we go to war with China. It's possible that we have some sort of major cataclysmic financial event. A lot of things, it's possible there's another COVID. But remember the last time we had a cataclysmic event, which was COVID, how that actually caused housing prices to rise, not go down. So I don't have a crystal ball. I don't believe people who tell me they have a crystal ball, but right now is a great opportunity. In my experience, if you got to sell a house, great time to do it, still great demand, you can dictate your terms. When I buy a house, as long as you can lock in these historic rates, There's never been a better time to buy property, I believe, than right now, either as a buyer for a home or as an investor in the long run for good cash flow. So I can help you. Call me, text me, email me, Bill Gross. My number's down below, thelaprobateexpert.com, or see me on social media, Bill Gross EXP. Make today your best day ever. Thanks.